Yo, pump it up. It's time for the news. Yo, we getting ready to bring you the news, boy. You need to know it.
You ready? All right. Welcome to another episode of Open Run. This is a special episode, episode 10, where we talk about youth sports, basketball, not only in Tampa, but everywhere, not only about the skill center, but everybody. And today we got a special guest with us. We got Kailyn Gilbert, in my opinion, the best girls basketball player in Hillsborough County and top player in the state of Florida. Averaged 30 as a freshman.
Yeah.
What we talking about today, y'all?
So I thought it would be interesting to invite Kailyn over, and also I invited Emmanuel Sharp, who couldn't make it over, just to talk about these are kids that are considered highly skilled basketball players. I think Emmanuel averaged 25 or 26 as a freshman. Kailyn averaged 30 as a freshman. And based on that, they don't get as much love as the other kids around the state. This is just my opinion, just what I see on social media. And so just to bring her on, just to see, what she thought about it. We talk about how we feel about social media, but how do these kids actually feel when they see kids that they play against and they murder or destroy, and they're being considered better players or ranked higher than them? Does that impact them mentally? How does that impact their game? How do they feel about it? So that's why, I wanted to bring her on. But
it's very discouraging. It's very discouraging. About a year ago, I dropped 25 on this girl in front of a college coach, and they turned around and offered the girl, and we had been communicating for a while, so it kind of that the rest of the week I wasn't going as hard. I kind of kept thinking why are other people getting recognition and I'm not getting the same type of respect? But it gets very discouraging. But then I kind of use it as motivation now. I'm just gonna accept the fact that I'm gonna be underrated and I don't play for a big high school, so just use it as motivation.
And seeing the reason why I wanted to really talk about this, because I wanted to know how the kid felt. It's not about the adults, it's how the kid feels, especially when they're putting in the work, and based on the work they're putting in, the energy and effort that they, based on what social media says it's about. If I do this, you're gonna write about me, and you're gonna give me my accolades, and you're gonna give me my just, and that's not happening. I don't see it happening. Right now, I don't know if anybody's seen her play, but right now I think she is one of the best players in the state, not just locally, but she is one of the best players in the state. And I know this because she cares. She plays because she loves the game. So that's why, I thought this would be a good thing to talk about. Also, as a player, when you see people writing and you see rankings, does that impact you? Does that, if somebody's ranked above you that really can't hold you, couldn't do anything for you, how does that make you feel?
It kind of makes me question my potential. Am I really as good as I think I am? So it's kind of it's a big toll on my confidence. It kind of am I even this good? So yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Well, I think it's just this generation thing about rankings.
Yeah.
What is a ranking? I mean, a ranking is an opinion.
That's it.
Of people, or some people, or a individual person.
Right.
So a ranking should not make or break you as an athlete or as a player, because at the end of the day, if you're not there, you still want to compete and motivate yourself till somebody gonna notice and recognize. So you either gonna pick it up or you're gonna drop down. But I heard you say it just motivates you, which it should. But I think it's a generational thing with these, with the rankings and those just a matter of people's opinions.
Well, let's talk about what we talked about last time, where when we grew up, it was a newspaper thing. We saw the scores. We saw team stats. You always saw it at the end of the game. Right away the next day or that night you saw newspaper, you saw the news. Nowadays you see Twitter. Nowadays you see Facebook, Instagram. These are kids to watch. And in my opinion, a lot of newspapers may only go by what they hear from their peers of who they know. Oh man, who's the kid you just put about on Facebook? But the other day, they did a top 25 in Hillsborough County. And she wasn't on there. Now, Twitter was lighting it up. I went on there, I had some Twitter fingers. and I went on there and I'm like, how can you make a top 25 list in Hillsborough County and leave out Kailyn Gilbert, who she's been one of the best players since, I've known her since she was 6, 7 years old, and she's beat up on the boys. And she probably can still beat up on some of the boys. So, you know what I'm saying? But the crazy part about it is, then all of a sudden, I wake up the next day, and the list turned into the top 26 list. Have you ever heard of a top 26 list?
When you leave somebody off, you got
It was a tie. It was a tie.
Yeah.
It was a tie.
Top 25
So
plus.
the question is, where are they getting these lists from? Where are they getting the ideas from?
Or not only were they getting it from, when she talked about motivation, the day after the list, how many did you drop?
47.
So, then all of a sudden, Kailyn, now you got everybody saying, Kailyn hit 47. Kailyn hit this. So now it's like, but where does that list come from?
So we're in Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County is known for what? Football.
Right.
You don't go a day. You don't go a Friday or a Saturday without reading about football.
True.
Say for example, don't nobody know what the Plant City Observer is, because that's my area out there in Plant City. Plant City has its own newspaper.
Gotcha.
Everybody don't see it.
Right.
But Plant City has Strawberry Crest, Durant, and Plant City High School. So that area of high schools in the area where I coach at, we're getting exposed to the Plant City Observer.
Right.
They come to certain games or rivalry games and they do write-ups, but it's not a major newspaper like the Tampa Bay Times or Home Team Tampa Bay.
Right.
So I remember it was a few years ago, Nick Williams used to be the beat writer for basketball. Now when they had that shortage and had to do cuts and all that type of stuff, they eliminated it because we used to have to call our scores in.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that anymore. We haven't did that in
3 years. 3 years.
About more longer than that.
Yeah,
About 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, my second
to
year.
where we had to call our scores in, so at least it can be posted in the newspaper. We don't even do that anymore.
Right.
So my question is, who is going to the gym to see these kids and pick these kids out? Are they emailing coaches? Or they just have somebody that they chime into? Or they paying attention to certain social media groups and seeing who some of the kids? So they have to be reaching out to somebody.
So when's the last time a regular newspaper, not a person that tweets or anything like that, a regular newspaper reached out to you or your dad or your mom?
Spectrum Sports, Kenny Morales, he made a video on me.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Last year.
Okay. Yep, I did see that. Yep. So, and I think, was that one of the ones where they picked athlete of the week or something like that, or no?
No, it was just.
Your specialty,
Yeah.
special? No, just yeah. I remember seeing that. But so, where do they get the list from? Number one. Number two, do you think it's Tampa? Do you know a lot of girls that play basketball and are pretty good? Do you see their names more, the ones that are out of Tampa, out of the city of Tampa?
Yes.
Why y'all think that?
Yeah, I don't know, and I really don't. And I think we have, from what I understand, we have people with pens. They always talk about the power of the pen, I think we have people with pens, but for me, I feel they write about the same people that she's talking about that everybody else write about. I don't know if this is, if we're relevant for basketball. I really don't. One thing I would say is, Tyson would talk about, I was ranked 71st in the state of Florida his senior year, going into his senior year. And I told him, okay, so what you do is You find everybody that's in front of you that you think you're gonna play against, and you slash their ass off one by one. Every time you see them, if you handle that business, you slash them off. You slash them off. That should be your motivation. Your motivation should not be somebody writing about you that knows nothing about you. Like, I could care less. Like, you know, if you know, and this is the same thing I tell her all the time. You know, if people that have your best interests at heart care about you and know about you, you get recruited. How many offers you have? 10 offers right now. And you still have 2 years of basketball, 2.5 years, or 3 years of basketball left. You know, so why would I even care? I know, but kids care about that. They really do. They see themselves. But she has 10 offers already. That means she can, offers mean, hey, look, if you verbally commit, we would say, okay, yeah, we want to take you. Not interest, she has offers. Hey, we want you to come right now. Can you verbally commit?
And not to the middle schools.
Yeah, and I wouldn't care who wrote about me. Because eventually they're gonna be forced to write about
But this is what this episode is about too. It's not only about, you know, why they're not doing it. It's to inform these kids and these parents, just play. Continue to work.
But also, people have to understand their kids. You know, they feel judged by their peers. Like, man, if she don't think I'm better than such and such, then how am I gonna, my team don't think they see that I'm dropping 30 and they still don't have me ranked, how my team gonna be me? They're kids. I mean, just imagine when you go to a party. When you used to go to a party, you made sure you was looking good, and if you had something on that was busted, if you got some dirt on your shoes, you're gonna walk in there kind of insecure about yourself. So just imagine a kid that's talented, and I'll give you Emmanuel Sharp, same grade, just as talented. He doesn't get as much press as half of these kids around the state. He doesn't.
Not in Hillsborough County.
And he doesn't get as much press in Hillsborough County.
But that's Hillsborough County is not a basketball influence.
What about if he played for a different school? Do you think he'll get more public?
No, it'd probably be the same.
If he played for a different high school?
But if you look at it,
No.
Knox, for example, how much pub did Knox get?
I mean, you're right. It wasn't crazy until he made like the USA team.
But it still wasn't. It wasn't even crazy then. It still was like mediocre.
Right.
And that's the thing of it. Like, why is that? You know, you have these guys that are writers, or bloggers. I don't even know what the hell you call them. But you have these guys that, you know, use their influence, and they say they're for the area. Why wouldn't they write about a Kailyn Gilbert? Why wouldn't they write about a Emmanuel Sharp? I mean, if it's about the power of the pen.
I mean, but I'm looking at it. Let me use boxing for an example. Back in the day, there was one pay-per-view station.
Right.
You had order. Everybody had to order one pay-per-view. Now it done got off to ESPN doing their own pay-per-view, Showtime doing their own, Showtime doing their own. So basically, everybody's doing their own thing.
Right.
So it's the same thing with this media stuff. Everybody is doing their own thing for whatever they want to do in the area.
And also in boxing, Floyd Mayweather was signed to one of those channels. So you know they were going to put him big time.
Correct.
Mike Tyson.
But that's how they make their money. They have
right.
certain fighters that they're signed to HBO or Showtime or what have you. So, for example, you come up with your own top 25 list. With your skills on the page and all the polls that you guys got, people will follow you. You come up with your own list. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some bias there because I know these kids and I know what they can do. And if you see another kid outside of the area that is basically even with the kid that's here,
I don't know, man. I keep it 100, man. I keep it 100.
Yeah,
I see Junior on the bench quick.
Hey, look, I damn sure keep it 100.
Yeah.
I train a lot of kids. I work with a lot of kids. And just because I train them, don't mean they can play for me.
It's all right.
Don't mean they can do it.
But let's do something else. The other day, somebody put out a top 10 list of boys teams this year.
Boy, stop. And they put us number 1.
Hold on.
They need to cut it out.
Let me do this.
Man, look, I started drinking immediately.
So look, last year, Chris had a pretty good team. Hillsborough High School had a pretty good team, right or wrong?
Well, actually, we represented well in Lincoln last year.
Yes,
Right,
we did.
right. Hillsborough County had good.
Yeah.
Chris at Hillsborough High School had a pretty good team. He was better than the team the year before, which went to state.
We had everybody returning and we added 3 pieces.
He added. Then they had him not ranked in the top 10 of Hillsborough County last year. I messaged somebody and they informed me, they said, I haven't seen them play. So why make a list if you haven't seen them play? This year, Hillsborough High School, no disrespect to any Terrier out there,
Look, I'm
is
not gonna lie to you.
better than last year or the year before, and they got him ranked second.
First he had was number 1.
Not only that, you got 2 kids that start for him that played last year, wasn't even mentioned in the article.
Was it in the area?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to boxing.
Hey, because somebody got a concussion.
Somebody
got hit hard.
Somebody got to get knocked out to get back over there to get the championship, man.
Man.
Right.
So, and so that's why I was just like, when I talked to Joe last night, I called you guys and I said, I asked, what would be a good topic? And I was thinking about it because I was like, man, is that fair to a kid? Like she just said, it make me feel like I'm not good. It make me feel like, I'm not working hard enough or I'm just wasting my time because based on social media, based on the basketball world, these writers are supposed to be the naysayers. They're the ones, they're the guys that deliver it. They're the disciples.
Right.
They deliver the message. And so if this is the message that a young lady like Kailyn Gilbert is getting, what does she need to do? What do you feel you need to do?
Keep ball.
Yeah.
All you can do is do you and let everybody.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a ranking or a judge is a matter of people's opinion.
That's it.
And it goes back to you want to go to the University of Florida, okay? And you got Florida State right here. Why Florida State recruiting me hard in Florida now? It's the same thing. I want to go to Florida. Both of them are D1. However, D1, but Florida State is recruiting me. But Florida ain't. But this is where I want to go. So it's the same balance in this ranking stuff.
Then both of them offer you?
Florida hasn't offered.
Oh. Florida, come on now. Florida State
South
offer now.
South Florida.
Yeah.
South Florida's offered you.
But it's still that can be challenging also.
Yeah.
But it's to me, rankings and offers, in my opinion, is different because school's gonna offer what they need.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
They're gonna offer what they need. Maybe they don't need a guard at that point.
Or they may need a guard, but they might not be the type of guard they
That
want.
they want. Right.
So tell me this. Do you think, based on people writing about you or based on what people write, it will help you get more colleges interested?
No.
No?
I think it's just what you do when you play in front of the college coaches that matters.
Okay, so why would you say you feel disappointed that people are writing about you and talking about you and blogging about you? If it doesn't matter, if you know it doesn't matter to the college coaches, why would it have an impact on how you feel?
Because at first I wasn't, receiving much interest from colleges, so it's like what am I doing wrong? But now a lot of people been in my ear saying, like, Kailyn, rankings don't mean anything. And plus I got 10 offers, so at the end of the day, your opinion doesn't really matter. As long as I'm getting my college paid for, I'm good, So it just, I understand that.
So have you created a list of everybody that's ranked in front of you?
Yeah, I got a list.
You got a list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna play it on?
Play.
Oh, you want me to do?
No, we ain't there. Nobody.
No, but you play. He just asked, do you play against any of them?
Play against it on?
Nah.
You don't play any of them around here? Ranked
Oh, no,
around
they-
here?
I mean,
The
on
county
like
list.
ESPN.
Oh,
No,
okay.
the county list.
Oh yeah.
There's some of them on there? You play against them? In the regular year? You gotta text me. All right, where are you ranked?
Here's number 9.
Yeah, where are you ranked ESPN wise?
Well, the dude just emailed me, so like Dan Olsen, so he's like adding more people to the list, but so I'm not on there yet,
You're not on the ESPN list?
but I should be.
Why you feel you should be?
Cause the two guards that they got listed that's in Florida, killed both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who writes? No, don't tell me who writes about it. But they get a lot of pub.
Yeah, I mean they play for Nike, you know.
They both
Well, let's go there. Do you think?
Travel ball.
Do you think that matters
Yes.
where they play?
Yes.
It does?
Correct.
Why?
Let's
I mean, take someone like Emmanuel. If he played for like Montverde, like or IMG, you know, people would be crazy over him.
But he does play for a big team. He played for each one, teach one.
That's how he blew up this summer.
I mean,
Is it? Or is
not,
it because he played for Team Israel?
Which one he played for first?
Which one he got the most pub from?
From what I saw, each one teach one. Cause all I saw was
I don't think they talk about him as much.
all I saw was he Money Banks. That one game right there when he played
Yeah.
against Money Banks.
But I saw the Israeli national team. He played well. Now you're talking about on a global.
Yeah.
Now everybody. Now you have conversations. Why wasn't he invited to USA? That's the conversation now. He played for Israel, played well, extremely well, top players in Europe. Why wasn't he invited to the USA trial?
Maybe the people on public.
He's an unknown.
But he played for each one, teach one, and he played against Amani Bates.
But a lot of people.
And he put up work.
I just think
They gave him 35.
It's an
Huh?
unknown.
he gave him
42.
Oh, my bad, dog. It was
Twice.
42.
Twice.
It's the unknown.
So with that being said, you had a question you were going to ask about that with the travel ball.
No, not with travel. Well, I don't know too many female travel ball team, but I know the one out of Daytona, which is the one out of that's ran by Nike.
That's his name?
Essence. So it's my understanding, there's a lot of those players in the Hillsborough County area.
Yeah,
They're getting a lot of pub,
yeah.
but it's through their travel ball media. It's not necessarily with Hillsborough County, no Tampa Bay Times or home team Tampa Bay. So social media has a lot of influence. It's about who has the most clout in social media. Because I can see it as, like the old days, hey brother, slide to 50. put my player name out there.
Right. But look at this.
Yeah,
She got offered by Florida State. Pretty big school, right?
Correct.
So I go back. Your travel ball, you would have did work regardless. That's the way I see it. Like you're getting what you're getting.
Yeah, you getting offers. So
Emmanuel's
that's
getting
yeah, at
that
the end of the day,
you
get
might not
offers.
you might not be but getting great offers.
Yeah.
It ain't no
So
no
that's
boom
why
boom
all
offers.
this other stuff don't matter, because at the end of the day, you're probably gonna be in the running for
Right.
Hillsborough County Player of the Year,
Yeah, she wouldn't.
along with, well, it just depends on what's the sophomore at Tech.
Janiyah Barker.
Janiyah Barker.
She a sophomore too?
Because she's so it's gonna be a battle there. So it just depends on
Can I vote?
who's voting.
You vote?
No, there you go.
Who vote? The coaches?
I don't know.
Coaches.
I don't know.
The coaches vote.
Oh, yeah.
So with that being said, so
And she's well, we have Tampa Bay Coach Association now. She's in private school,
yeah,
so she's gonna be outnumbered by public school coaches.
That's why the local media needs to go out and watch these people play.
so here's where it becomes an issue. If she's that good, if she's getting all these offers, it's gonna have an impact on her being nominated for Miss Basketball
For the state of Florida, you talking about?
or being a McDonald's All-American. It's gonna have an impact on her. So if people aren't writing about her and showing her love and she's that good, who's gonna write about her? What if she is a Miss Basketball for the state of Florida? What if she is a McDonald's All-American?
But that's good.
I know, but
you
I'm
done
saying
did it
she's
all
not
the
gonna
time.
get that opportunity to be a McDonald's All-American because the writers are the ones that select those. The writers are the ones that select Miss Basketball and McDonald's All-American.
So you have to know who those writers have that have those votes. And all of those are on the travel ball circuit. They're not like local. And I keep going back to Knox because he's the last McDonald's All-American here. Knox blew up with each one out there on the circuit.
Yeah.
So when he did work out on the circuit, those people that does those McDonald's All-American votes were out there on the circuit. Now that's how he built up clout nationwide.
And I don't know, do you play for a sneaker team?
Oh, we're Under Armour.
You're Under Armour. How did you play on the circuit this year?
Average like 32, pretty much.
I mean, what else does she need to do?
I don't know.
But I think what Dre is trying to say, it has
I
you have to
understand what
have
you're saying.
a group
You know,
that
it's
push.
a
You gotta
clique.
push.
Yeah, it's a clique.
Yeah, you gotta do that. And
It's a clique.
it's not fair,
No, it's not.
but the reality of it is, shoot,
You got to know somebody.
putting your vote in for the
All right,
president of the United
Trinidad.
putting your vote in for the president of the United States ain't fair. That's a whole different topic. But
But it is, not enough people vote.
you see what I'm saying?
So the whole reason behind this was, you know, it was sparked due to the Tampa Bay Time or Tampa Trib lack of adding her the first time, because I was blown away. I'm just like, man, yeah, I've never seen the young lady from Tampa Bay Tech play. Like I've never
She
sat
pretty
there.
good. She pretty good.
Yeah, but I've never sat and watched him play enough to just like say, man, she's good.
I haven't seen the list y'all talking about. Who's number one?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know if it was the number one
It
ranked.
wasn't.
It was just a
It
top
was just the
25.
top
Yeah, it was just
25.
the top 25. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't
they didn't have her on there at all.
No, she
They had
wasn't
some
on
girls on there that averaged 3 points a game.
They must have thought her last name started with a Z.
So this comes from, to me, it's just, they just don't know.
They
Yeah,
don't-
they just don't know.
know.
Absolutely.
And they caught out, but I don't know where they're getting, you know, kids' names and stuff from, but they just don't know.
Perfect example. The guy that John is talking about that wrote and had us first and put us second. He had a kid. He had 2 kids on there that are going to be impact players for us at Hillsborough that played JV last year. They haven't played one game of ours. I mean preseason, and one didn't play at all. But preseason, they played preseason. One played preseason, and they're supposed to have an impact on our team this year.
That's what it wrote down.
That's
Impact
what-
player. They had Tyree James come into as a leadership, which is true.
They didn't have Santia. They didn't have Jalen
Oh, Jalen.
at all. They had 2 kids. I don't know where the hell they got the name from. And even the kids said, "Coach, how did they get my name?"
Hey.
You know, and it's
That's crazy though.
Who over there here? But depends on who they asking.
You
to.
said who over there?
Hey, you might be like, hey man, who they got over there here? Okay, if I know this kid, I know it, man. I'm gonna name all of them. Hey,
He
gonna
didn't
be
even mind
good.
it all.
He gonna be good.
But that's the thing. That in my opinion, that gives you your integrity. Like it's like, yo, your job is to write. Your job
Wait,
is
who's
I'll put it like this.
people that doing their own stuff?
No,
They-
but this was news.
No,
it wasn't newspaper.
No, but I'm just saying, when you're dealing with social media,
Right.
you got, I go on, man, anybody can start a social media page. So, I don't think, and nobody's paying them to put this stuff out.
That's true.
Like I said, it's
That's
a
true.
personal opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
Of what they're thinking. Just
So tell me this, Dre, and you coach and you played.
Full-time state champion.
Yeah. Play pro ball.
I keep saying that, but I got a conference title too.
Oh, my bad. Conference title.
Overseas championship.
My bad.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I opened it up.
D1.
Hey, 3 times William Belt Award. So,
You see it, you hear it.
You heard it right
You
here.
hear it.
So if you were talking to a college coach and you had a kid that you wanted them to recruit, you're gonna push that kid based on his potential and based on the relationship that you have with that college coach. right? You're gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna push it. You know, I'm not just gonna push any kid. I'm gonna push the kid that I know can play there. That I know can play there. You know it. They can play there. Well, you got that. You have riders here. You have a kid from here. You have multiple kids from here that you know can play here. That you know can play at the next level. That you know are that deal. They're proven. And you still won't give them no love. In personal opinion, my ass. You know basketball, and you write about basketball. Ain't no personal opinion. You're supposed to be that once you start writing behind that pen, it's like you're doing your dissertation or you're doing your thesis. You are a master. You put it out there for the world to see, and you're accepting people to come in, and they give you this media badge to go everywhere. When you get those credentials, you are a professional. Write about what's right.
Hey man, I'm tell you.
And like you said,
that's hard.
It is.
I tried it.
But hey, listen.
I tried.
But if I got somebody,
not the writing part, just
if you got somebody just so much better than every girl around here, or other girls around here, how's it? Or every boy, who's the best player right now in Hillsborough County? Right now in Hillsborough County.
As an individual player?
Boys.
Emmanuel Sharp.
That would be my pick.
That would be
But
mine too.
but I haven't seen everybody in the county. I've seen him.
Listen,
But
you
I haven't
don't even
seen-
need to see everybody.
I ain't seen everybody else.
You don't need to see
That would be the first name.
That would be the
probably-
first name come out of my mouth,
Cool.
right?
Right.
Emmanuel Sharp. He is that good.
And
So
like you
we
said,
can sit
you
here.
don't need to see him because you see what he's doing.
Like,
40, 35.
like with ease, and he make it look easy. Like you're looking at that kid, like, man, that kid can be a pro.
He got quiet 35 of it.
Quiet. That means like it didn't even look like
But
she had 47, came back with 44, then came back with 25.
And like 13 assists, something like that, 8 rebounds.
And the only reason she had 25 is because she missed like 20 layups.
We gotta work on that.
Oh, so that might be the issue then. She's not official. Hey, you asked before, how many shots you took? 8? Hey, that's how college goes.
She was 20 for 62.
Yeah, you were 20 for 62. She had 44. Oh, man. They gonna drop the stats now. You gotta be
Yeah, but that's the whole point of wanting to bring her on here and talk about.
Yeah, you come on in, baby.
And talk about what we were discussing is just to see how she felt. I wanted to get Emmanuel on here to see how he felt because, like I said, end of the day, they're kids.
Right.
And I know, and anytime I saw myself in the front page of the newspaper or anybody blogging on, my dad cut it out.
Hey,
He made me a
we had
scrapbook.
one newspaper in 4 high schools, so
Hey, look, but I'm just saying, but he made a scrapbook.
Right,
He
right,
cut it
right,
out,
right.
man. And it was like a proud moment. So at the same time, anytime you saw your name in that spotlight or mentioned who you was representing. Not just Southeast, not just the Ward family. I represent Tallahassee, Florida. Like everybody.
If y'all don't know what Tallahassee, Florida
No, hey,
is,
it's
it's that
my
one
drive.
road by that small airport in Sarasota. Pretty cool though. The whole Ward family live on that road.
Hey, don't
never
look
heard
back.
of it.
Hey, look. So that's why I wanted to bring her on because I know I see her in here. She comes in, she works, and she busts her butt, and she put in the work. And she's competitive. And you see a kid like that, not just on the court, but off the court.
Right.
GPA is a 3.6, 3.7. She competes, like she's passionate about what she's passionate about, and you still don't give her the love. Like that right there is mind-boggling to me, especially when we got a kid right here, and then you wonder why kids, when they make it, they don't do nothing for the area.
They just don't know. They just don't know.
We up to our time, y'all, but we want to thank Kailyn Gilbert for coming out. And for the kids that are out there watching this, for the parents, understand this is a proven fact that rankings don't mean nothing. Keep working, keep grinding. If they don't talk about you, do like Kailyn, hit 47 the next day.
Peace out, Philon.
Later. Oh,
Hey,
$5
Philon.
you missed, boy. You owe us one payday.
Boss, he ain't working.
Appreciate y'all.
You good?
Did good, Kailyn, did good.
Yo, pump it up. It's time for the news.